Atlanta Cast Network.
Yes, sir. Back season 6, episode number 3. This is Atlanta Carcast. I go by the name of Mr. To this side of me is the beautiful one, the purple one, Miss TJ, representing www.tiajakes.com. Also, you can catch all of us at atlantacastnetwork.com. If you have not visited the website, please do so. Great information, lets you know the ins and outs of everything we do on that website. Above her, as usual, Mr. Skip, the trophy god. Skip's Trophies and More is in the building.
The trophy
Beside him,
god.
the trophy god.
I like it.
Every week.
I like
Trophy
it.
god. Yeah, I like it. We can roll with it. Next to him, always Miss Kong, the Queen Kong, South Carolina representing as usual. She's been on the move, been going viral, been trending. If you're not up on Queen Kong and what she's doing, you better get with it or get rolled over. As usual, and last but certainly not least, built to inspire tour service CEO, aka Night Hizzle with the Chisel, Nighthawk with the T, about that life CEO in the building. People, let me give it to you.
Yeah. Right. Got it right this week.
Yeah, we're back, y'all. We back. So how we doing? We had a long but short week. Miss TJ, give it to him first.
I'm really happy to be here. I'm super grateful to be here. The week went by really fast. Yeah.
That was so preppy and white girly.
Preppy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's it? That's all you're going to get to people?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. Mr. Skip, how was your week?
The week was great, man. Real quick, in case y'all don't know, I am putting on a free car show. The car show is going to have the same amount of awards as a paid car show. We're going to have some specialty awards and everything else. There will be a significant amount of awards. It is coming very soon. I will have the dates on here. So if you're late, we will mention it again when we go over all the upcoming events. But the free car show is a done deal. It is happening. So I will go over with all of the ducks in a row and let you guys know. But it's soon. So
there we go. All right. Queen Kong, you've been on the road. You got back in town, I believe, in this week, right?
What happened? Back in town?
That was last week. That was last week.
Okay, we missed it. All right, how was your week?
Oh, my week was it was pretty chill. Just trying to prep for this season, honestly. Trying to get stuff ready, get dates ready. I actually bought one of those like 32 by 48 calendars so I can just look at the dates instead of having to flip up.
That's all.
Doing that. So that's about it. Just prepping for the season, for the show season.
That's what's up. Nighthawk, you've been missing in action. I know you had a long week.
Yeah, my week, it went by slow. Just waiting to get back to Atlanta now. So just working.
It went by slow. You don't move slow. What happened? Give us some tea.
Nah, I worked this week. I work hard this week, so it went slow.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
And last but not least, my week has all ever since 4 days before Christmas. It's been crazy for me because I've been looking for a job. So I finally have landed a job over the weekend. So give it up for me. Yeah, so it's been crazy. So I've been trying to go through the process of onboarding and all that jazz. And also still with my current job doing the wind down process and all that kind of good stuff. So it's been crazy. And then we also had some exciting stuff that happened over this past weekend. And we're going to cover that on our usual but weekly segment.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Only on Atlanta Carcast.
All right. So last weekend, the three of us myself, Miss TJ, and Mr. Skip we attended Caffeine and Octane. And if you haven't been to Caffeine and Octane, don't know what it is, it's a monthly mega carb meet in Atlanta. And you can see almost anything at Caffeine and Octane. It's been going on. How long has Caffeine and Octane been out?
Over 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Like,
over 20 years. So it's a monthly thing. It starts very early, about 7 in the morning. And in the fall season, 6:37 in the morning, it's kind of chilly. but it gets into the morning where the sun comes out, and it's a really, really cool event. So I'm gonna pass it off to Miss TJ. Your thoughts of Atlanta CarCast being live at Caffeine and Octane? What's the good and the ugly for you?
We've been to Caffeine and Octane many times. I'm
Yes.
sure many of our viewers have also attended Caffeine and Octane. We were invited by Mike Tees, who was a guest of ours a couple weeks ago from IVAN, International Vehicle Appraisals, Antique Appraisals Network. So it was really nice to kind of have a front row seat, which is a lot different than what our normal experiences is like, just kind of parking as a spectator and kind of walking over. So it was cool. It was a very cool event. It was very cold initially, and then it warmed up and started feeling really good outside. And we literally saw everything under the sun, from Euros to hypercars to antiques to classics. It was amazing. So if any of you have never been, I encourage you to go. If you really want to see cars that you think you'd never see in life, they're right there. So I highly encourage anyone who has never been to Caffeine and Octane to just pull up.
Skip.
To echo what Miss TJ just said, one car that I had never seen, two cars I had never seen in person was the 6-wheel Jeep, the Mercedes-Benz. I'm sorry, the Mercedes 6-wheel truck. It's on the Jeep platform, but it was out there. It's called the Brabus. And I think it's like Brabus, tomato. Anyway, it was out there, and I believe they go for around 600,000. But the guy was out there standing on top of it, because he had a Brabus. And we also saw the new electric Challenger with Charger. I'm sorry, the Charger. With the cold start, where it sounds like an actual car. That car was loaded. It's so loaded that the technology that said it, you can let up the front seat. It's a 2-door, and the front seat will automatically slide all the way up. And when you click it back, it slides all the way back to the current position, the passenger and the driver's seat. It has 3 modes. And you have to put it in the sport mode in order to hear the engine rev. And initially, when you hear it, it sounds like a real car, but when you constantly hear it, you can tell it's manufactured. But the bad thing about that particular car, and we're gonna move on, is it only gets 200 miles to charge. And that the way that one sat, it was fully loaded. It was $84,000. That particular.
Should have got a Hondo.
Hondo.
Yeah, that's it. And that car, it looks 100% better than what these pictures show.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Thank y'all.
So while we're talking about it, before you go, Mister, it literally pulled up right next to us. And as soon as it pulled up, immediately a crowd gathered because it was a sight to be seen. These pictures and videos do it absolutely no justice. It's truly a muscle car.
And it has plenty of leg room. I've been in a Challenger where I feel stuffed in it. But this wheelbase, it has plenty of leg room in it. It does, and it has a funky way you got to get out of the car. It has 2 ways actually. There's a button you can push, and the door pops open, and then there's a latch. It's built into the panel on the door. It's kind of hidden, but it's there. It's
if you want to see Mr. embarrass himself trying to open the door, you can go to our Instagram page and see him try to figure out how to open the car door.
I was kidding.
Sure. Sure.
We saw your face. Like, okay, get out this motherfucker.
I was impressed. I must say, I had no real anticipation or expectation of what this car could look like, because when we saw it earlier in photos, we kind of said, And then when it pulled up, and I think it was more of us hearing it pull up because he had it in sport mode when he pulled up, and we're like, wait a minute, that we saw it go by, and Mister was like, that's it right there, and we kind of, and then when it pulled up right next to us in the parking lot, it was like, oh, okay, that's it. This car had a crowd around it the entire time.
You did.
Mister.
What can I say? The videos, the pictures, none of this does it justice. When you actually see it, and it was a lot of haters. Think about it, and the amount of people that attend Caffeine and Octane. It was a lot of haters. I think the number one, and I have thought about this for a few days now. I don't know if the speaker muscle car sound is a pro or a con because I never heard it. We knew it was coming, that it would have speakers in the back of the car and it would sound like a Hellcat. And you know, we've broadcasted, we've covered it on the podcast, but hearing it in person, I'm not sold on it, whether or not they could have done it better. You know what I'm saying? First of all,
What brand of speakers they use?
It has a cold start feature where traditionally everybody knows what a cold start is, but this is an EV, but it still has the feature of a cold start. So you're hitting the button and it revs up and you're hearing the speakers. But I'm just not completely sold on the actual sound of the speakers. That to me, that was almost not a bad, but it wasn't a good. As far as the look of the car, it just looks beautiful. It looks amazing. The front of the vehicle it's a beautiful vehicle. It's very, very spacious. The interior was beautiful. The ambient lighting. Skip's got a bad signal. There was so many things. This was a nice vehicle. Very, very nice. And the guy was so nice, and he had so much information because I think he works at a dealer, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, do we know his name so we can shout him out? I can't remember his
It
name.
was Nico. I have his card. I'm sorry, it's not in here with me. So, but it was Nico, and it was Ed Voiles Dodge.
Yeah, so shout out to him, and he's a gearhead. He's a muscle car enthusiast. He takes a Cadillac onto the track, super tuned up and all of that jazz, and he's a fan of this vehicle. So if you haven't driven one of these type of vehicles and you're talking shit about it, shut the fuck up. You don't know. That's just the period. I'm sick of people talking about EVs that's never driven them. And that's the first thing. When me and Skip were looking at these people, and then we ask them that question, and they go, well, I've sat in one. If you've never driven one, it's almost like, oh, I haven't had sex with it, but I felt on the booty. It's not the same. It's not the same. You haven't had the whole experience of these cars. And as you can see here in this picture, there is a 4-door version of this, and there's a 2-door version of this. I don't understand how you can do that, but they're doing it. It's a beautiful car. I was glad to see it and actually get in it, start it up, sit in it. I did everything but drive it, but we drive EV, so I know how they feel. But just for the people, if you have time, check it out before you really trash these cars, because this is the future. If you look up top 10 cars in 2025 or 2024, it will show you combustion engines are dead, and that's just the end all be all. But yeah, that was the only bad. I think the speakers need some work. Definitely the range needs some work. But I think when you're trying to put so much technology as far as ambient lighting, you got the speakers, all of that stuff affects the actual range of the vehicle. People don't understand. Teslas are bare bone. They're lighter weight, they're bare bones. It's certain things that they don't have, and you can get higher range. So it depends on how much you're putting into these vehicles. That will weigh heavily on the actual mileage range on those vehicles. So yeah. What else y'all got on this?
And he said that for anybody that's interested, there's only maybe 10 of these cars in Georgia for sale. Now, there's some people that have them already on the streets, but I think he said Ed Boyles had the one that he was driving, and he named another company, big car dealership that had two. So he said there's only maybe 10 of them in the whole state that, as of Sunday now, I don't know what's happened since then, that are for sale. So if people really want it, they need to get on the line and get on in there and get them before they get put on the waiting list.
And what's the price tag right now?
That one was 84.
Anybody?
That one was 84.
84,000?
Out the door. 84 plus tax. The bottom line of it was 84,000 and some change. So
yeah, beautiful car. Beautiful car. Two big screens here, as you can see here. The heads-up display when you're sitting in the car. Traditionally, a heads-up display is not that far. You almost can seem like you can touch it with your hand if you know what a heads-up display is. Skip, did it not seem like it was almost like down the street?
It was 3D. It was 3D on the screen. Normally, it's a little patch on the windshield that shows it like another small screen, but this one, it looked like you could stick your hand through it.
Yes.
It kept distance to it, so it won't impair your vision, but it'll get your attention because it looks so different.
Beautiful car. Yeah. So yeah, I was blown away. Outside of that, Caffeine and Octane, it is a gem of an experience. If you haven't been there, we saw campers, old schools, new schools, Corvettes, Porsches, Lamborghinis, a lot of what's the name? Come on,
Ferraris,
lot of Ferraris,
Aston Martin,
and Aston Martins. I mean,
Porsche,
everything.
BMWs. I mean,
Romeos.
Oh my God, a lot of vehicles. So if you get out there and you get a good spot, you get to really see a lot of good stuff. And that was my first time being out there since they switched locations. We used to go to the perimeter one all the time, and it seems like this one is a little bit more isolated, a little bit more personal. Am I making sense? Like it seemed like the perimeter location was a little bit more blown out, a lot more kind of like walking to do. This one is a little bit more isolated, a little bit more intimate is the word that's coming to mind. So I think it was pretty dope. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to do that, please do that. That is pretty cool. All right. So moving on, we're gonna pass the mic.
Before that, Queen Kong, you just released a video on your YouTube channel. So talk a little bit about your channel. Tell everybody how to subscribe.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of getting into YouTube, I would say. Like learning about editing. That video, the show was January 17th. And that shows you how long it took me, just like I said, because I'm learning how to edit, how to cut, and put parts together. So I'm starting it up. I mentioned it last year when I said I was going to do car show reviews. The point of these car show reviews are, even though it's going to be after the show, it's two things, just to try to cut down on individuals, wasting their money going to shows that aren't worth it. Or when you have, like Skip says, these culture vultures, you're just throwing shows just for the money, and you get out there and you waste your money and your time, So that my thing of doing the car show review is to, especially some of these individuals, they're going to have multiple shows. We're going to have a show next year. So when I like to do a car show review, I like to judge on, the location, the price, the vendors, because my husband is he loves food. So he's the one that's, hey, babe, come over here to this vendor. This was amazing. So the vendors, the vibe, and actually, like, the price, is it worth it? Do you feel that the price was worth what was at the car show? So, and the judging as well. I definitely have to tap into Skip with that more. But it gets to some of these shows where somebody has to speak up. Somebody has to be the quote unquote bad guy, and I don't enter. I say that when I go to the show. Hey, I'm not here to enter. I'm just here to have fun. I'll pay the price that needs to be paid where I need to park and have fun. But after the show, I'm still going to do a review. So,
wow.
when I did the one for top 5, they're their own individual, and like I said, that's not really my lane, but just what I spoke on, the judging, they had some issues with that. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of issues with that. A car came in at 8 o'clock that won the top chain for that with no hood. Might I add as well, no hood. So that's a no. First of all, you already came in. They were already evidently on stage calling out the winners, and this car pulled up at 8 o'clock. So they had their whole issues, especially since they had a back and forth with Chicago coming down to Florida. They didn't want Chicago to sweep and win all the chains, and who they all originally voted for was someone from Chicago. So they had there's a lot of lies, a lot of back and forth. But I think they hashed it out. But when I say I would go back, like I said, I would go back, especially knowing that they had to change the location 3 times. The last location they got in 12 hours before the show was supposed to start. I know I would have folded. I would have folded under pressure because that's a lot. They said they already had the stage set up at the second location,
right,
when they shut it down. So
wow.
Yeah, but the overall vibe, it was no issue. No, that's my biggest thing as well, especially with that many people. No issues. It was a good show. It was a good show.
And one thing that you're going to point out, being a former competitor, having a vehicle that's competition ready, car show ready, and music ready, is people can't say you're just pointing fingers because you don't know what it's like. So coming from your viewpoint, having competed in both lanes, I think people will respect your opinion more, because for somebody like myself to keep saying it, it's like I'm beating the dead drum. But coming from another competitor, if all of you guys that have cars were to not compete but enter the show and then give your critique of the show, it would open more eyes. But
it needs to.
Yeah, I'm viewed as a hater because I tell the truth, and I don't care how you feel about it. So that's a very good thing you're doing, man, and more power to you. For real.
I just gotta stay, consistent with it. I got lined up going to a lot of shows. It's just the consistency and the editing. I want to get it out in a timely manner, not 3 weeks like I did after the show. Where everything is still fresh in everyone's mind, and So, but I'll get better at it. But I think it's, like I say, I think it's needed. I think it's needed. So.
There you go. So if you want to catch up more with Qwueen Kong, hit up AtlantaCastNetwork.com. All her links and all her information is on that, and it is ready to go. Coming up next on the Atlanta CarCast, he is a friend of the show. Interesting story about this gentleman. A lot of people don't know he's a kind of a public speaker. Is that the word for it?
And no, kind of. He's a public speaker.
Definitely.
Well, I guess not kind of. He is a public speaker. Very inspirational speaker. He's had seminars and public outings where he does this thing. And one of the events he held, I don't know if he gave this sentiment or this thing,
No.
or
No.
did you purchase it?
We bought them. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they weren't free.
He just magically came home and like, here's this thing.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna make this story as quick as I can. So she purchased this coin, and on one side of the coin, it has this gentleman's branding on it, and on the other side, it has 3 statements. Keep going. I can't.
Where's
remember
the coin? Where the coin? Where is it?
It's in I don't want to get up and go get it.
Oh, you gotta go get it. Go get it.
You need to go get the coin since you're talking about it.
Oh, while he's gone, the inspiration behind the coin, Mark's going to tell, Mrs. is going to tell you what he got from what we learned about it. And that's going to be one of the questions that we pose to this person, to truly explain the value of that coin and why he got it going. Because when he told the story at the event that we went to watch it, it was inspiring to hear that.
Extremely.
So, yeah.
I bought a couple of those coins, and everyone that I have given the coin to will call me periodically and says, "Man, I had a rough day, and then I pulled out that coin you gave me, and it just helped me to keep going. So
Right.
Okay. It says keep going on the middle of it. It says go through, get through, break through. And it's a cycle. And you just keep going through those 3 stages.
you
And
gonna
in the
show us that
middle,
one? You
the
gonna show it to us?
foundation of it,
You'll spit.
the foundation of the coin is to keep
You gotta pull it back
going.
some.
Yeah, go back.
Pull,
There you
pull it
go.
back. Your green screen's not working, sir.
You get the picture. What I'm saying is to make the story less long so we can bring this person up is when you're trying to find a job in today's landscape, it's tough. Okay. So I've been looking for a job, and I take this coin with me everywhere I go. So if I'm at an event, this coin is in my pocket. When I go to work every day, this coin is in my pocket. And it's always a reminder to just keep getting after it and never stop. And I just thought this sentiment was so freaking dope. So once I actually got a job, I texted this gentleman and I said, thank you. And he was like, what the fuck? I don't understand. Why you thanking me? You know, because this, I looked at this coin several times when you get an email that says, sorry, you didn't get the job. No phone call, no nothing. Just rejection. Didn't get this job. Or you get a phone call, you didn't get this job. So you just get so many no's, and all you need is one yes. And this is the foundation to keep going. So without further ado, cool story. This is my guy, for real, brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up, Bled.
My fault.
What's happening? What's happening with it?
In front of them.
What's happening with it?
I gave you a great intro, man. That's the best I could do. The best
Yeah.
I
You
could
did,
do.
man.
So
I'm booking you for the next show.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Too much.
please do. Testimony.
Hey, but you gotta, when you talk about the coin though, you gotta have it on your body at all times. You feel what I'm saying?
didn't-
'Cause people gonna ask you, they're gonna say, what coin are you talking about? He gave you a quarter. You did what I'm saying? So you gotta have the coin at all times.
Well, when your booking agent tells us at the last minute that you're coming on the show, I wasn't ready. You got to get with your people to get with my people.
There you go. I feel you. I ain't mad at you. What's going on now? Let's talk. What we doing?
I can't call it, man. So you got something important coming up.
First thing I want, since Mr. brought up the subject of the coin,
Yes, sir.
Give the world, the CarCast world, a quick synopsis of what the coin is and why.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. OG Skip, man. One thing I learned in life, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you got, no matter how popular you are, no matter where you see yourself in life, we all end up at one point on that cycle, that coin, that circle. Keep going, go through, get through, break through. We either going through something, we either getting through something, or we either breaking through something. Woo. And it's never a one-time thing. You dig what I'm saying? So like if you're in your breakthrough season, you ain't there forever. You feel what I'm saying? Like you will go through something else. You will be getting through something else. I may holler at Mr. and be like, man, what's going on with you? And he might be like, man, he going through some hard times. So he's in his go-through season. You feel what I'm saying? I may talk to Tia, and Tia may be, coming out of a situation. So she's in her getting through season. You feel what I'm saying? And others will be in their breakthrough. So that was the gist of it, man. Life is hard. Life ain't fair, but it ain't fair for everybody. So in a sense, it makes it fair. You feel what I'm saying? So the coin serves as encouragement. It's like a lighthouse. You feel what I'm saying? We all get drifted away in the sea of life, and we're trying to find our way back to the shore, right? So the purpose of the coin, though, is to attach a goal to it. That's the beauty, though. That's the original purpose of it. No matter what your goal may be, it may be you striving for a job, it may be working toward the promotion, it may be a personal goal, it may be, graduating or finishing school, it may be kicking in addiction. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you going through or whatever you pushing towards or striving towards, you attach it to that coin. Once you achieve whatever it is that you attach to that coin, whatever goal or whatever promotion, once you get that, then the object or the goal of the game is to pass that coin on to somebody else, explain to them the purpose and the meaning behind the coin. You know, you dig what I'm saying? But you release it. You don't hold it forever. You dig what I'm saying? If you want to hold it forever, then you get your own personal coin that you just, keep to yourself. But the goal is to attach something to it. And then when you achieve it, you dig what I'm saying? You release it to somebody else. Whether you know them, whether it's a stranger, whether it's a student you come by. So, I keep a few of them on me at all times, and I might come across a young cat. You know what I'm saying? And we might have a conversation, and I might say, hey, man, this is what I want you to do. Now, the coin isn't magical. There's no magic behind it. The power of encouragement, the power of belief, because we all looking for something to hold on to attach hope to. You dig what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, it's a simple reminder. I had cats that forgot they had the coin, and when they was going through something, they stumbled upon it and was like, bro, hey, this right here, man, thank you. So it is what it is. But that's the purpose of the coin, and that's the goal of it. When I started it 2 years ago, I did the first seminar, first speaking engagement, and sent it out, gave it to somebody. Another quick story, I was at a tire spot getting my tires changed on my truck, and the old head, man, I'm talking about, like, I'm 44, so I still can say old head a little bit. But an older gentleman was there sitting next to me. You know what I mean? And he was probably like 80-something years old, white guy from McDonough, Georgia, lived in McDonough his whole life, and we just started having conversation. And in the middle of towards the end of the conversation, when they called his name, saying that his vehicle was ready, he got up and he said, young man, I want you to do me a favor. And I was like, what's up, sir? And he said, I want to give you something, if that's all right. Now, a lot of old heads, when I was growing up, when they said they want to give you something, they gave you some money. So I was like, I said, okay, what's happening? So he reached in his pocket, and I was convinced I'm finna get a check. You know what I'm talking about? He went in his pocket, and he pulled this coin out. And when I saw the coin, that's my coin. You feel what I'm saying? But I didn't say it. I'm just sitting there like, okay, I want to see where it goes. And he asked me if I had any gold. You dig what I'm saying? I said, I keep a gold or two in my pocket. You know what I mean? And he was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. And he explained the point of the coin to me as if he wrote it. You feel what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I said, do that. And he told me somebody gave it to him because he was dealing with the loss of his wife. They was married forever, but she passed away. And he's in a better place now. And so he wanted to surrender this coin to somebody else, and he gave it to me. So that was me. I saw that, I love that, but I heard God, you know what I mean, bringing that full circle and saying, hey, what I put in there. So, you know what I mean? So that's the coin, and kudos to you, man, for holding on to it and holding on to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like in time of need. And congratulations, man, to the new J.O.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, a lot of times people, specifically men, don't put a lot of stock into vision boards and cliche things like that. But seeing something and reading something and speaking something, I think is important.
Yes, sir.
So that is just a real easy symbol. It is not in a room tucked away. I just thought it was just a great idea. So keep going with that idea. So now you're telling me I have to release this to somebody, so I shall do that. And I will get with you offline to get a personal one.
That's what's supposed to happen. You ain't got to.
Yeah. I didn't know. They didn't
I got a few more. I have a few more. So you give it away. I'll give you another one.
So you can hold on to it. Just attach a whole nother goal to it.
Yes, for sure. So, Bled,
what's that?
Already 2025. We're already in February. It's going fast. It's going like boop, 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 boop. It seems like it was just October. So you got to tell the people. I know they're waiting on Keys to the City. You got to give the people the first glimpse, the updates, what the people need to know. Keys to the City part what? Is it 6 or is it 5?
It's part 5.
Part 5. All right, give it to the people.
Well, I released I posted a little flyer about maybe 30 minutes ago. But June 22nd is the part 5 car, truck, and bike show. It's gonna be crazy. That's all I can say right now. Over the weekend I'll announce some more stuff, but I mean, people been. Let me say this to the people, man. Because I don't care what car show we talk about, I don't care what car show we judge, I don't care what car show we pull up at. The people make any and every car show. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not about who throws the car show or what big name is behind it. The culture is the most important part, the most important aspect of any car show. And I had to learn that because, you know, I think I'm 5 years in now doing this car thing, and I've had a ball with it, but going to so many different car shows, you know, you get, sometimes you get a bad taste in your mouth. Sometimes, you know, you catch a vibe, and sometimes it's like, man, I wish this car show did this or added this aspect or this dynamic. So when we got involved in doing our car show, we just wanted to add different dynamics or try to, you know, do things our way. And so 5 years of doing Keys to the City, it took us some time. We broke a few eggs. You dig what I'm saying? And we made some good scrambled eggs. You feel what I'm saying? We had a good time. So 5 years in, the vision that I had when I first wanted to do a car show, we gonna walk it out in June. You feel what I'm saying? Because the way things been lining up with the people we bringing out, with the level of interest from the people from the car community, man, reaching out since last show. So since last May, you know, people from California, New York, Virginia, North Carolina, Chicago, you know, reaching out saying, bro, I'm coming to part 5. I'm coming to your next show. Come to your next show. I don't take that lightly because, for one, it's not easy doing a car show. You feel what I'm saying? And two, it just shows the support from your people that you're doing something right. You feel what I'm saying? So, truth be told, part 4, you know, I thought that was gonna be the last one. Julie, she stretched when it comes to doing these shows, and so I said, you know, part 4, man, it was cool, it was dope, it was a different experience. Let's just walk away like that. I only said that shit for like 48 hours because you know what I mean. Then it's time to get back to work, and you always want to top what you did last. You feel what I'm saying? And so, Keys to the City ATL Car Truck and Bike Show Part 5 in Morrow, Georgia. I can't really lay out other information. I can't really tell you who touching the stage this year, but what I can tell you is,
I got a question.
go ahead. Yeah, ask me a question. Yeah.
Is it an indoor, outdoor, or either show? Because the topic tonight is indoor car shows. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. No. See, I gotta have my lawyer present because I can't answer certain things without saying that. Ali, can I put a pin in that and just
for sure.
There's no way.
Will you speak to the topic though of what you thought about having an indoor car show last year?
I always wanted to do an indoor car show, and the mayor of Morrow, you know, he told me 2 years ago that one day we'll be available. Well, we have the opportunity to do an indoor car show, and I thought he was just talking. But when the opportunity came up, when opposition showed up last year, opposition showed up first, and then the opportunity. But I know, in doing business for so long, that anytime opposition is waving his flag or showing his head, that opportunity is right around the corner. So if you can just get through the opposition, if you can go through it, get through it, and break through it, you'll get to the opportunity. So last year it was a last minute decision. Like, the weather was bad for the car show. The forecast wasn't changing. It was just bad, worse, bad. It's coming. So we knew we couldn't do it at the district, and so we making all the phone calls we can in the city. So when the mayor said, "Hey, what about the exhibition hall?" I mean, I never even been in it, and so when we went in and I saw it, I said, "This would be dope." Indoor car shows provide a different dynamic as far as the look of the build. I don't care if it's wrap, if it's paint, where you can really show your lighting, you know what I mean, that you really can't probably get outside unless it's dark. The atmosphere, you know what I mean, especially if you're talking about like a summertime car show, you know how Atlanta get, you know what I mean. Shout out to people who can do it, like Whips by Wade and Whip Addicts, and they can do car shows in the summertime in the heat, in like a open parking lot with no shade, no whatever, but they have like the huge, you know, massive shows, and I salute them. But for me personally, I always been in love with indoor car shows. I love outdoor car shows as well, but indoor car shows, like I said, they just give you a whole different dynamic.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything on that?
To echo his sentiment about the dynamic, the lighting. If you're gonna do an indoor car show, if it's on your plate to do one, the one thing you gotta have is lighting. Yeah. You can't have a dark building and expect cars to just turn their lights on and it make your show. It's gonna be lit up so the cars can still display it. It won't be as bright as outside, but it will be lit up enough to where people can walk around and just browse, or people can inspect. And that's the aspect that you had last year with the indoor-outdoor show, and it was great. Indoor car shows also limit loud music. You can't play loud music inside. That's a con for people that have both. In your case, they could have been outside playing their loud music, like what was happening. So there's pros and cons to it, but I like them also. But the limits will. Your show is not one of those ones that will be in jeopardy of that, but having a completely indoor show will limit the people that will show up.
I think too, when you got a venue like the District, and if you've never been there, it's just the most beautiful setup that you probably can get. It's very, very enclosed. It's controllable.
No, Mark, the last year wasn't at the District.
But he's just saying that out of many of the events that we've been to, the flow of it's a great flow because you got to come over the bridge to get in. You can't, it is controllable in that aspect. And once you get in, the whole venue itself is just really nicely laid out for a car event, particularly.
So what I was saying was it almost seemed like that venue was built for car shows outdoors. So to let go of that, to try to force yourself into an indoor situation, you're almost it's a double-edged sword, So to me, when it comes to your event, I wouldn't do it indoors. I would go back to what you were doing at the District, lay it out, stage, same place, same setup with the cars and all that. That's just my personal opinion.
No. I mean, that's you would love to be a fly on the wall in our little powwows that we have in regards to the District, which we call the Bloodlands. We don't call it the District, but
right.
You gotta understand because when we first started that spot, the goal for me was, I could see the vision. You dig what I'm saying? I felt like what Kevin Costner on Field of Dreams, like I could see it. And I said, man, if we can get this venue and we can do a car show here, not only will it be a dope situation for Keys to the City, but I guarantee you, and I my wife, she'll vouch for it. I said, I guarantee you, we can open the doors for other people that's also in the car community to come and do the same thing and utilize this ground. And 5 years later, you dig what I'm saying? Like it's been some, golly.
Every weekend almost there's car shows over there.
I tell people I'm humble, cocky, and that's just the best way I can describe it. So right now, this is me speaking in the most humble way possible. We opened the door. So when it's not by chance that it was called Keys to the City. You dig what I'm saying? Because we unlocked the door in Morrow at the District. You get what I'm saying? At the exhibition hall. You know what I mean? Because what came after that. And it's not saying that if it weren't for us, it wouldn't have happened. I'm saying like God used it where somebody had to go first. Somebody had to open the door. And shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to Whips Addicts that do his thing. Shout out to Whips by Wade that do his thing at South Lake Mall. Shout out to King of the South. You know what I'm saying? The motorcycle club that come and do their thing. And that's the way that the car community, in my mind, that's the way it evolves. That's the way it grows. It's, hey man, look, we found the situation over here and it's working. We did something dope. Man, y'all come on through and let's keep building. Not just on the modern muscle side, but in the old school world, in the bike world, in the big truck world. You dig what I'm saying? So I love it. But if you was a fly on the wall, then you sound just like me. because I'm in love with the Bled Line. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in love with the way it is. I'm in love with the bridge. I'm in love with how it looks, just like a town. It's a town that just you can bring it to life for a day. You dig what I'm saying? And now 2 years ago, when we started adding the dynamics of performers, you know, it kind of force you into a different direction, because if you get an A-list artist to come out to the Bled Lane and perform, but it's an outside show, and if the weather isn't cooperating, you feel what I'm saying? Then it becomes a problem where it's like, okay, well, we got this artist coming, so what do we do? You know what I mean? Do you move it last minute, or do you do whatever? When it comes to, you know, crowd control, you know,
right.
Outside at the district, it's harder to control that, because you can just have a whole bunch of people parked outside of the parking lot outside of the district. That's just, you know, just watching the concert without actually being involved or whatever. So the exhibition hall, it plays a major role. And I can tell you this, we have an artist coming this year, A-list artist. You dig what I'm talking about? And there's no way I can talk about it without talking about it. So we got an artist coming, man. That's a part of Keys to the City this year. That's gonna be it moves it up to another standard. Not just because of the artist, but because of the direction of Keys to the City, the Atlanta car culture, the spectators. The perfect car show for me is when you can have a huge amount of spectators. You dig what I'm saying? Because you got the people that's in the car show, you got the people that register their cars, but it would be so much doper if you could have a shitload of spectators that's watching these bills like they in the museum, that come up to you and say, "Oh my God, man, where'd you get the idea to do your car?" You see what I'm saying? And now the builders are like, "Oh, thank you. And that helps the car show go by faster, instead of just pulling up, wiping your car down, and just sitting down and talking to your fellow, you know what I mean, your fellow enthusiasts. You dig what I'm saying? So this year, I think we can pull in spectators. You feel what I'm saying? That'll add to the feel of the contest. It's hard talking to y'all about this, man, without saying everything I want to say. Go ahead.
Great.
Oh,
I didn't hear you, Skip.
What did you say? I didn't hear you either.
What to speak on?
Oh, I just wanted to speak on, because I had a lot of thought when I saw the topic. As far as indoor car show, I couldn't fully. When I thought about, you know, the of course the pros and the cons came to mind of indoor car show, and I know of our being used to outdoor car shows, and I know, quote unquote, I guess the vibe. I think indoor car shows limit, because, you know, you have those car shows where you know, other than the music, not just the music, you know, you can't get those moments of, you see some of these vehicles and they want to hear the engine. They want to see you, you know, spin the tires a little bit or something of that nature. And then I go deeper into it and I think of, you know, loading into it, indoor car shows, trailer space. You know, how are you going to go, you know, some people don't like driving their cars a lot. But my main pro with that is, I think indoor shows have the less likely time to be rescheduled because of weather. Because I came to Atlanta, matter of fact, as the district, or as you call it, Bled Grounds, or whatever you call it. So I came to the Short Bed Showdown. And we got there. Then out of nowhere, it poured down in the middle of it, you know, in the middle of the show. So of course, individuals are already leaving, you know, things of that nature. But if you were at an indoor car show, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But I think it just like limits space. I think it limits, you know, the vibe. You can weed out some demographics or whatever, how you know how you want your car show to be. But it's just in my mind, I came up with a lot of cons. I'm not against it, you know, and I think it has to be a bigger venue, because individuals, you know, we have South Carolina, we're country, we don't have those type of venues, and most of the venues are in the city. So when you are loading out, it's going to be hectic, you know. And I'm thinking about, like I say, my husband likes to eat. Your favorite food trucks can't come to an indoor venue, you know. So
They can be parked right outside. Go out there and get yourself.
I'd rather enjoy the
That's just me.
indoor venues. It's hot as hell.
The only thing I don't like about
Man.
the only
I'm
thing I
gonna
don't
be
like about
honest.
it is once you in, you stuck until it's over. You can't leave.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel everything, you know, she said, man, and I agree with everything she said, you know what I mean? But and that's the part where I mean, it's your pros and it's your cons. Like you're gonna have the good side of being indoors, and you're gonna have the side that's not so good. And I actually agree, being outside, you know, you outside. You feel what I'm saying? And you got more leeway to do, you know what I mean, certain things like some of the things you mentioned with, you know, man, let me hear it. Let me hear it. You know what I mean? Like let me hear what you did to that engine. If you inside, you really can't do it. You know what I mean? Music, you know, whatever, any aspect. I feel what you're saying. And I totally agree with you. I do.
I just want to see everybody successful. I don't want anybody to limit their growth from an indoor car show, you know, because it doesn't have all the space, and I want everybody's show to be as big as it can be, but you want to have a max that you can allow in, you know, at indoor car show. And I just don't want to, you know, I don't want anybody's shows to start with the chatter after, oh, I would have went, but they already had too many people, or you know, that kind of thing. So
Absolute.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You have to see his car to understand, Queen. It's feathers
he was
everywhere.
at one of the Morrow show. Oh my! I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is different.
Shout out to my guy Scott. All right, let me ask you this. So you and your team, because we got to stop saying Bled, because Bled has a great team. Let's just put that out there. Your team has really raised the bar with some of these shows. This is part 5 coming up. So did part 1 and part 2 have live performances?
No, part one was a shot in the dark. Part 1, we were just, you know, it's the first one, so you're just trying to, you know, get through it. And it was cool. It turned out real dope. We screwed up the judging on part 1. In my mind, I figured if I just go get, you know, a bunch of my partners, you know what I mean, that had nothing to do with the car community, that I would dodge the bullet of, you know, because I know everybody. on the Atlanta car scene.
I wasn't trying to open up old wounds. I wasn't trying to bring up old shit.
No, it's all good. No, I need them. I need the stars. You feel what I'm saying? So, but the show was a success. You know what I'm saying? Then part 2, still no performers. It wasn't even on my mind. But part 2 is when I unveiled the look of the new look of my car, not knowing that would set fire for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? So part 3, we had 3 major unveilings, and then part 4, you know, we had 3 major unveilings, and then I, you know, brought the Lincoln out. But you know, on part, I'm losing count. Part 3, that's when we said, man, you know what? The city said, hey man, we want to give you more tools. So we got a nice video wall. We want you to come look at it. And I was like, a what? The video. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm straight. And I passed it up first. I was like, I'm a video wall. What you talking about? And they said, why don't you come by and look at it? So I started. And I said, yo, we can use this? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, bet, say less. And then they said, we got a stage too. And I said, y'all tripping, man. Y'all giving us tools. And this was so we did it that year. And then of course Rick Ross did it bigger. He had a bigger stage and bigger video wall, but it was phenomenal to have that. And so since we had a stage and we had a video wall, so man, let's get an artist up here. And so we had artists from the Atlanta community. We had OKQ doing some original music. We had Swag Pack Shack do some original music, and then we had Jody Breeze come out and headline the show. It was cool. It was dope. And then the next year, which was last year, you know, we had Young Dro come out there. So it was a dynamic that we enjoyed. We like it. The people liked it. So we said, all right, we're going to keep doing this. So when Young Dro was on the stage in May, I was already thinking about who I wanted to be on the stage on part 5. The hurdle was going to be, how do I get to that person? It was 2 people. It was only 2. that I really, really wanted. And I had to sit down with both of them. You dig what I'm saying? Over the last few months. And it was a back and forth game, but we finally got to the business. And, you know, sometime I think on Saturday I'll announce who it is, and we'll take it from there.
So you actually.
Oh, wait. And then on part 5, we got Mr. jumping on stage, man. Shit finna be all the way crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's-
don't. No, you don't.
Who you say?
Me.
Mm.
No.
What Mister gonna do? He gonna break dance?
Hey, he gonna rap, man. It's finna be crazy. We finna go back in time.
I am retired, and I will
What's
never hit
the rap
a
name?
stage.
You want Nicolas Cage?
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
finna get crazy, man. Watch what I tell you.
Dick Cage.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, my question was: you and your team are so great, and you guys have really, really raised the bar. How hard is it this time around to really, really get there or go higher? Has it really, really been an issue? You know, I mean, because dude, with the unveilings, I mean, we have seen unveilings before, but not quite like what I've seen at your shows. We've seen some live performances, but when I tell you, Young Joe performed like it was Summer Jam,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't just.
Yeah.
It was not normal.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
had a effect to it. How hard is it to reach that bar again? And is that the reason why you kind of didn't want to do it again, because you didn't want to go backwards?
That's the reason why it took so long to drop a date for part 5, because I told my wife I don't want to do it if we just like if it feel like we're going backwards. You see what I'm saying? Like I just don't want to do you know, just another car show when we've worked hard on trying to raise the bar, and we're not competing. Let me be clear. We're not competing with no other car show. When I say we try hard to raise the bar, that's an internal thing. Like we trying to outdo what we did last year. You feel what I'm saying?
Correct.
But if I feel like we just can't do it, then it's, hey man, I don't care if we just take a year off. If there's no part, if part 5 is in 26, then that's just what it be. And if these deals didn't work out the way they worked out, then you know we would just it wouldn't have been happening this year. So that's what took so long to drop the date. Usually, if I do a show in May, before September, I already dropped the date for the next year's show. You see what I'm saying? This is the first year where it's been so long where I'm like, oh man, we got to drop this date. So, but to me, raising the bar and then hurdling it, I get a kick out of the challenge. And that's in everything I do, personal, whether it's my build, whether it's business, whether it's when I first met my wife, you know what I mean? If she would have told me, no, I'm good, then hurdling that and getting her to say, you know what, you know, I find that, you know, as not a sport, but, you know, I like it. I like the challenges. So car shows aren't different to me, not mine. The sitting down with the mayor, and the mayor shares the same thought process as that. You know what I mean? He's like, man, go big or go home. You know, he's crazy in a good sense. Like he likes to think outside the box. What can I do? That's why he was doing donuts in the car with OKQ. You feel what I'm saying? Like he likes to, you know what I mean? Now that event, you know, it got a little crazy for him, but you know, in his mind, he said, yeah, I want to be a part of this. And OKQ doing donuts and he hanging out the window like Ace Ventura. You feel what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. And so when I sat down with them in October to even talk about what I'm thinking about doing in part 5, you know, I put it on the table, and the mayor was like, "Hell yeah!" You know what I'm saying? He said, "Hell yeah! How do we do it?" And I was like, "Man, let's talk math, let's talk numbers." So I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, man, they threw their support behind it. So I can't tell you this. The exhibition hall and the both will be utilized. That's all. You'll get more information over the weekend.
I have another question.
Yes.
If there was ever an opportunity for you to utilize a massive indoor space like the Georgia World Congress Center for a exhibition style car event. Would that be something that you would even consider?
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, I mean, I definitely would. My son had a Taekwondo tournament at the World Congress Center, and while I'm sitting there waiting on things to get started, I'm looking around. I said, man, this is crazy. And I know DJ Envy, I know he do his thing down there. So I mean, yeah, I mean, again, a challenge is a challenge. I would love to put my spin on anything, a parking deck, a parking garage car show. Like I think that would be phenomenal if controlled the right way and if finessed the right way with the right touch. So sky's the limit. An airport, you feel what I'm saying? A hangar, a runway. You know what I mean? My mind just be, I'll be all over the place. You know what I mean?
Okay. So
one more question. Hold on, real quick. Old school, because now you're kind of you're in a lot of lanes. You're in the high-end Euro lane. You got the super monster truck. You got the Dodge, and you got the Lincoln. So, in this car show, are you appealing to all of the above?
You know, yeah. I mean, I think with Keys to the City, and this is me speaking on my show, Keys to the City, I think we have no problem getting modern muscle to pull up. Like that's easy. That's what you know I have, and that's what the people that I've grown relationships with got modern muscles, right? And so they show up by the droves. Shout out to everybody representing modern muscle. Classics, it's always like a small turnout. Big trucks, you know, we've seen more big wheel bikes. You know, they rock. I don't know why they rock with me, but they rock with me. You feel what I'm saying? Exotics, you know, classics, tuners. Like we don't get that. So this show, that's the goal for me, is to really open the door all the way. You feel what I'm saying? And I mean, the door has always been open. The invitation has always been sent out. But you know, and maybe that's a part of the reason why the Lincoln came. Like what I do know is I do what I can do, but God already did what God already did. You feel what I'm saying? So everything that I'm doing already happened. I promise you, I'm not going to church, but everything that I'm doing already happened in the spiritual. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just catching up to it in the natural. You dig what I'm saying? So when I was wrestling with, man, who gonna be at Keys to the City Part 5 or what it's gonna look like, it already happened. The artist was already signed and already occurred. It's just in the natural, I haven't experienced deja vu yet. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the same thing right now. Like I got the Lincoln because, you know, when I was young, my granddaddy had a Lincoln 64 Continental. And I remember when they came and took it from him. You know what I mean? He lost it. And I remember seeing how it hit him. And I was like, man, I was probably 6 years old. And I was like, man, when I get my money up, I'm gonna get me a 64 Lincoln Continental. You dig what I'm saying? And so now I was able to get one. But what if the reason that I got a 64 Lincoln Continental was to go into the old school world and do in the old school world the same thing I did in the modern muscle world? So now when Bled have Keys to the City Part 5, you see what I'm saying? The relationship that he built in the old school world with whip addicts, with by way, so many others. Now they pulling up to, see what I'm saying? So it's a way we can bridge this thing, man, instead of just being on different sides of the fence and saying, well, I don't go to an old school car show because they not gonna pick my modern muscle build, or old school saying the opposite. What if we can all just create a dope situation where we all can just be dope together? It sounds easier said than done, but you know, somebody gotta do the work. You feel me?
Well, I'm working on an old school build, so hopefully it'll be done.
Who working on an old school build?
I am. They've seen it. They've seen it.
Okay.
Talk to me.
I open them.
Hey, talk to me now. Can we stay right there for a second? What's up? What you working on? Or is it one of those?
I don't know. What y'all think? Should we talk about it or should we just
in the car? But that's it.
Not
not yet?
No.
Well,
TJ,
can we
I'm
talk
with
about
you.
the kind of car it is in the year? How about that?
Tell them the year making model.
No, then you got to tell the whole thing.
No.
That's
Hush,
already
hush.
been.
I'm gonna tell you. No.
It is hush hush for now. And
Hey,
hopefully once we
keep it hot, it's cool because I got it. It was hard keeping that 64 quiet. I want to say everything all the time, and so
right.
but it was so much better sharing it at Keys to the City Part 4 with everybody. You know what I mean?
If it's ready, I'd love to unveil it.
Hey man, come on! I got and I got people. I got at least 4 right now that's been saying, "Hey man, can I do an unveiling at your show? An unveiling at your show. I'm gonna do an unveiling." And I tried seeing the unveilings that you good no matter what, but seeing the unveilings over the last 2 years, I tell people, man, like when you talk about doing an unveiling, let's make it an unveiling. You know what I mean? Like, and we got to come up with what qualifies as an unveiling. You dig what I'm saying? Like, is it like did you just change? Like something small, like okay. So if you got a bill that everybody knows, if you just change the wheels, but everything else is the same, that's not an unveiling. You get what I'm saying? You just change.
Rap now, y'all. I got a rap. Look at my rap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you just change shoes. So, to me, an unveiling and moving forward, what I stress to people is, man, unveil when you take the cover off of it. Man, it gotta be something new. Like people can't see it and be like, "Oh, wait, you just did this." You get what I'm saying?
I think what you've done is you've chosen unveilings that have really told a story. A lot
Right.
of them.
Yeah.
From what was the other
From
one?
what's his name with the Camaro? I mean the Charger. No, the Camaro.
NASCAR unveiling that told a story.
Spawn. Is it Spawn? Is that the car?
Yeah, Spawn.
Spawn 704. That told a story. Swag Pack Shack told a story with the half and half. That was dope. Yeah.
You had Hulk. You had
Hulk for sure told a story.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is in part 3, we had more than 4 unveilings. I mean 3, more than the 3 that was unveiled.
You're right.
That wanted to be unveiled. You get what I'm saying? It was just that the other 4, you know what I'm saying, they just didn't meet the criteria. You feel me? It was just it wasn't enough. And I told them, hey, I ain't shitting on what you trying to do. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, like, I don't want you to be at a show that I'm running. And then when you take the cover off, I don't want the people to be like, "Oh man, you ain't do shit." You see what I'm saying? I don't want you to go through that.
We walked over here for this. You know,
you feel me? So I'm trying to like make this the best platform for you. So anybody who got an unveiling, I'm entertaining anything because I just like the fact that you chose Keys to the City. Like I got one guy who's known in Atlanta. And he's like, when you do your show, and I said, hey man, side note, my show won't be in May, so it ain't gonna be in the front. It's gonna be like in the middle of the car show season. It's gonna be in June. He was like, I'll wait. And I was like, when you gonna be done with it? He said, I'll be done with it. I would have been done with it in May. I said, so you gonna just sit tight? He said, man, I gotta do it at your show. So I respect that and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't wait that long, but you know what I'm saying? But I get it. So, but T, if you whatever you got, I don't care if you got a helicopter. You dig what I'm talking about? We can.
No one's seen it. Nobody's seen it, and I don't know if we know anybody who has this car. So
there's not one of the cars in Atlanta. Well, we have not seen one on the car scene in Atlanta.
No, I'm intrigued. I'm big intrigued. I'm be hitting you up. I'm be like, hey, come drop me that information.
Don't say anything else. Blade, if you want to hang on for this next segment, feel free, but we got to keep this thing rolling. I know you're a busy man, but if you want to hang on, please hang on. We got this new segment on Atlanta Carcast, and it is called Fact or Cap. And Blade, you're pretty good at calling out Fact or Cap. If he wanted to come back, he can. But we're going to keep this thing moving with Fact or Cap. And this week, because I be perusing the internet, and I be seeing stuff. So I'm going to play one, and then we're going to give our thoughts, and y'all can tell me whether or not this is Fact or Cap. Here we go.
Here's my favorite hiring tactics / question. When you come to the Thiessen Law Firm and you say, hey, I want to work for y'all, I'm going to say, let's go down and conduct this interview in your car. Why? It'll tell me everything I need to know about you. So here's a random employee's car. I open the door. He or she gets in the other side. I can tell immediately whether you smoke weed in your car, whether you smoke weed at all, whether you smoke cigarettes, but I can tell those things about you. I can tell how organized you are. How are you going to take care of all these cases and all these important clients if you can't even take care of your own car? I can tell whether you have kids. I can tell probably what you feed your kids and whether you clean up after them. I can tell if your car smells like a gym bag, at which point I'm like, great, that's great dedication. I appreciate these things. You can tell so much by just sitting in a person's car about what kind of employee they're going to be. So I encourage all you employers to use this tactic. And also, if you're going on your first job interview, it might do you well, go get your car looking right.
Fact or cap? Fact or cap? Let's start with Miss TJ. Get fact or cap, and then tell us why. And should people do this? What's your thoughts?
I hire a lot of people. I think I've hired close to about 40,000 people in my career. And looking at people's cars is kind of scary. I probably wouldn't hire a lot of people if I had to look in their cars. So
you probably wouldn't.
I probably would not. The amount of people that I know smoke weed, that I talk to them, I don't care what you do. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't do it here, right? If I had to smell their cars, I probably wouldn't hire them.
Do you believe it's fact or cap?
I think it's fact. You can tell a lot about you can tell a lot about a person's personality by how they maintain their car. I'll give you another example. And I'm not going to say any names. I'm constantly sending my female friends to detailers because they're unorganized. Their cars are not clean. And I get in the car and I'm like, girl, I'm not sitting in here. I got a guy. Call him. He gonna come get you straight. I wouldn't hire none of them to work.
So that means that means you judging the books by its cover.
I am.
Hell yeah.
I am. How do you function in trash? How can it shows that you're not focused. You have short attention span. You're messy. It's like how can you function in a cluttered space? You cannot. If you work from home and your shit is raggedy, it's just clutter everywhere. How can you process your thoughts? I'm sorry. I am. Smelling a book by its cover. I absolutely am.
Okay. I get it about the car situation. But the statement judging the book by its cover is such a broad statement. So I'm gonna try to put it in a donut right here. Hypothetically, when you met Mark, everything worked. But 2 weeks in, if he tells you, "Hey, I've been in prison for attempted murder. I used to sell drugs, and I got a couple of aggravated assault cases, and I'm currently on parole," would that have changed your viewpoint of him?
2 weeks in, yeah, probably. But he had a nice car when I met him, and I looked at the car and I was like, okay. I'm just being honest. We talking about cars. His car was a major contention in my process.
So you had prerequisites that would get you to the next step in the dating process.
Yes.
My point is this: you and Mark have been together. However long y'all been together, and you love him, and I know he loves you. Would you, looking at where y'all are now, if you had made a decision not to talk to him because of those situations, would you feel bad?
No.
Well, all right.
Non-negotiables. Sorry.
There it is.
My father told me when I was probably first he told me when I was 16, you can't talk to nobody that don't have what you have, period. You got a car, he don't got a car, that don't work. As I got older, you got a luxury car, he got a Honda, that don't work. You own a house, he in an apartment with roommates, that don't work. So I already had some preconceived notions that were established by having a father who said, these are the things that as a woman you look for. So, but that's a whole nother subject.
Ooh, boy, we could just open that one up because we could debate on that one all night. But anyway,
Damn.
let me make sure I understand the question on Factor Cap. Is the question, is this an actual way to interview? Do I agree? Do I think it's true or false? Or are we talking about the fact that if you do it that way, it will take so much about it? I want you to answer the question right.
The question is the premise of somebody keeping a messy, dirty, smelly car dictating whether or not they're a great worker or a great partner or whatever you want to call all of the above.
It doesn't. It shouldn't. And if it now, don't get me wrong, I think it won't be 50-50. It might be 65-35 or 60-40. If you keep a raggedy, messed up car, you're not going to be worked. But sometimes people have so many things going on that a car is a tool. It's not the extension of the house, because a house can be immaculate and you're driving a tour Honda to get back and forth to work, to get that money to get the bills paid, and you just don't put money into it. The only money you put into it is to crank it up and drive. That's it. So
I don't think they're describing raggedy, meaning broken or in need of repair or wear and tear. We're talking, you know what we're saying.
Right, but I'm going off what he said. I can tell if you smoke weed. I can tell if you smoke cigarettes. I can tell if you had kids. What difference does it make if you have kids? You get what I'm saying? That right there, when it comes to an interview.
But I think having kids is a factor sometimes, because people listen. As a person who's employed over 40,000 people, right? I'm going to be a little bit more apt to a person who has a little bit more availability because they don't have baggage, depending on the job.
I think they're going to work harder because they got baggage.
Could be not. I mean, it just depends on the circumstance. A woman with children, I'm just saying a woman with children, right, has a 9,000 reasons why they can't come to work sometimes. Kids sick. Ooh. I got to go to school. I'm telling you about my personal experiences with people.
I understand, but I think it is different in the, we're going way off, but I think it's different in the remote world. One of my youngest was sick today, but me, I'm not taking off work. Oh no, we about to, hey, I'm gonna make sure I got the cameras on, I'm looking at you while you sleep, checking your fever, but I'm fully remote, but I'm one of those individuals that I'm not taking a day off unless I have to, especially if I'm fully remote. I was at the car shows this summer, laptop. I don't need to take a day off.
Your daily driver is not trashy though, right?
Mine now, no, it's not. It's definitely not, because them kids.
That's what we're saying. Your daily driver says a lot about your personality, your, you know what I'm saying, how you carry yourself. Your daily
depends on what kind of work you do too, though.
Hold on,
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just bring it different into now. Y'all may or may not have experienced it in the car audio world. Oh, these some funky, trashy smelling vehicles. Like, they don't really care about how it looks, how it smells, and they have said to me, my vehicle is the best smelling in car audio that they smell, because I'm a female. That's just me. I like mine clean. I like it to smell good. I'm giving demos, which means this air is pushing back in your face. That's why I don't get a lot of demos. I don't get a lot of people vehicles, because you smoking or it's trashy and you're giving me the demos and the air is just blowing back in my face. Oh, right. No. Oh no.
So you're saying you saying cap. So TJ said fact, Skip said cap, you saying cap. Nighthawk, what say you, sir?
Cap.
You're saying cap. So the facts is on the bottom and the caps at the top. I say that is totally fact. And again, I've hired a lot of people too. It says a lot about a person. Like, seriously.
No. Wait, I'm saying fact. No. I'm fact on it. It does say a lot. I'm fact on it.
This is why I asked the question I asked. Are we talking about judging people or interviewing them in their car in order to see if you want to hire them? That was why I asked the question. If you're not going to interview me in my car, I don't care what the job is. That's not, because I'm not working out of my car. So if you ask me to interview in my car, it ain't going to happen.
I don't think he's saying he's going to interview them in the car. He's
Then
saying
why ask
that
you a question?
If you were to, like, on a whim, hey,
right, it
we're
would
doing
just
this
tell you
interview in
so
your
much
car.
about a person if you were able to see, what their car is.
Well,
Is
yeah,
like.
you can
Anyway,
tell them about their car, but it's just a judgment. It doesn't mean that it's them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. I could borrow somebody's car.
Nighthawk, your
Then-
car ain't dirty, and it's not.
I'm not gonna. It depends. Okay, I'm not gonna say my car is dirty, but I have a work truck that I drive to work, and I'm a truck driver, so I have bags stowed in it. So if you judge me by my bags and shoes and tennis shoes, you can't do that. You get what I'm saying? So, but I'm a good
that's
worker.
different. Y'all acting like y'all not knowing what we talking about right now. But we gonna move on. We gonna move because I got one more.
We ain't moving on. Hold on. You can't
Right.
skip past this now. We got to get to the bottom of
Okay,
it.
let's flesh it out. Let's flesh it out.
Okay, we're saying if you were to do Skip, I feel like Skip is saying you can't be judged because in that spur of the moment, you don't know. It's a lot of things, attributes to add to that factor of saying how about the interview, in your car. But what us telling individuals are saying, like, hey, I feel like if your car isn't clean, then what are you doing? Why isn't it? What are you doing with your time? Why isn't it? It's a lot of
I don't even know if it's about
vacuum.
Time. It's mental. It's mental.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot. You could drive past 50 car washes. I'm in a small town. They got 10 of them. As soon as you drive past, vacuum, self-vacuum, car wash, clean it out. But me personally, I lose my mind. Like clutter, even if I had me and my husband, we have 3 kids. You don't understand the amount of times, hey, y'all got to get out. Go with some y'all dropping fries and crumbs all in this car. No. You can't. Don't even worry about it. When we come on trips to Atlanta, if y'all see my kids and they look like they hungry, they couldn't eat in the car. That's why. Because y'all done drop crumbs. Y'all can't eat in the car. Wait till we get to Atlanta to get something to eat.
Think about it. If you showed up on a blind date, right? You got set up on a blind date. You're gonna meet the person at the restaurant at 8:00, right? And if you didn't know and you showed up on a blind date, and then when you got to the door, they was like, I just want to look at your car real quick. I want to see how you rolling on your car. Like, and if you had to show some of these people's cars to their potential mates, I think it would just change.
That's gold digger. That's what they would tell you.
I'm not saying the outside. I'm not saying
okay. Now let me finish my statement. Miss TJ said you had a nice car. That was a prerequisite for her to continue to talk to you.
Yes.
I set up a blind date with somebody, and the first thing I did was let me see your car. Peace out. Because you're looking for something more than what I'm willing to give on the blind date. A blind date is to get to know each other, not to know what my house looked like or what my tax bracket is. That's my
however,
but hold on. What if you matched on a blind date and you're both are car individuals? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where I'm coming from what she's saying. Like, hey, I'm a car girl. Hey, what's your car looking like? I want, that's what I'm interested in. Especially if you see my likes and you trying to match with me.
And that's understandable from that viewpoint, but not what he just said. Mm-hmm. It's a blind date. So blind means we ain't talking about nothing. And the first thing you say to me is, can I see your car? No. We going in your car.
I understand that. But in meeting a person, because here's the thing, I didn't know what kind of car he had. He knew what kind of car I had because he walked me to my car, right? So him knowing what kind of car I had, you remember what car I had then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Jaguar.
Yeah. So when I saw his car, I was like, okay, I could work with that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I asked him to see his car. We met somewhere. We went into a restaurant. When we got ready to walk outside, I saw what kind of car he went to. And at that point, I was like, okay, I can work with that.
So let me ask you this. Since you said that. So What if he pulled up and just, because I know because I'm single, so if I go on a blind date, not all the time you're going to see me pull up in my show car. You might see me pull up in my pickup truck. So if you say you don't want to talk to me because of my pickup truck, that's your loss because you don't know what I got behind the scene. Right?
Okay, let me flip this. You do the blind date, and then you walk the person, man or woman, to their car, and it's messy. Does that change things, Skip?
Not for me.
You're walking them to their car, or they're walking you to your car, whatever. And then should they judge you if you got a shitty, messy, stinky car?
In my opinion, no. And let me explain to you why. Like Miss Queen Kong said, you can have children. You could just see, to me, a date is about what you and that person do. Now, presentation, if I come out in basketball shorts with slides on, you're going to judge me that way, right? So I just don't see the I can't think of the
Wait,
word.
hold on. I want to ask the level of messy, because we all have seen people when you drive around and their windshields are full of paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, on the dashboard and stuff like that, the back of the car is filled up, like levels of messy. Like, hey, a few crumbs here and there, maybe some things scattered, but not like it. And it's not like it smells and you left something in here for a day. In my mind, a day.
Right, my truck is messy. I have 2 or 3 hoodies thrown in the back seat. I have it had an oil leak at one time. I got probably a half a carton of oil thing, in the third row area. I have probably a McDonald's cup that I was drinking out of that might be on the floor in the back seat. That's messy to me. Now, if you're talking about crumbs and sticky and gum and stuff all on the floor, that's a whole different world.
No, that's what we're talking about.
But that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
But see, that's my point. Anybody that's in that situation probably ain't dating nobody no way.
But they are, and they really meeting people out here, and they really trying to get jobs like that. So it's like, from that perspective, do you consider how that person keeps something so personal to them that way for a job, and or, like we just brought up, a relationship? You have to think about that, because what is in that person's mindset that allows them to function in that capacity? I can't function when I see a pillow not straight. I can't.
You're ADD, so yeah, come on.
No. I understand her, because let me tell you something. This whole house
ADD
will get shut down.
I'm not ADD.
This whole house, when it's time for me to clean, I got to shut this down. And you know what I do? Cut off the internet for everybody. Y'all won't do nothing. Y'all won't watch a game. Y'all won't play a game. Y'all won't, until the house is like how I want it. Because I work full time in this house. My peace of mind, I need it to be clean, clear, organized.
Right.
Y'all
Let me tell you,
all day.
My son, who he's grown now, but he was a teenager, had a party. I came home in the midst of him having this party, and his friends were taking pictures so they could put everything back exactly the way that I had it. That's how particular I am about everything in my life. I walked in and they taking pictures of my dining room table. I'm like, what are you doing?
For later.
We want to make sure we get everything back, Miss T. I'm like, what? Why are you even in my house? Like, but my son, he knows. Like, it's so funny because I would come home and he would come running down the stairs, and then Mark would come out and say, it wasn't, they both be saying, it wasn't me. And I'm like, what? You'll see it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm like, well, who? I don't even know what I'm looking for yet. And they're both like, you'll see it.
Right.
Damn,
it's weird.
One thing we can say is that sparks a conversation. So
right. But yeah, like the levels of messy will determine a lot.
Yeah.
Real quick, I don't care how messy your car is. If it's according to the job that you're applying for, where I think that makes a difference. Because as a construction worker, you can come barefoot. Well, you can't because you gotta have boots on. But I don't care how messy your car is. You coming to lay block, or you coming to move lumber. Now, if you're working in a law firm or you're a lawyer, I think something like that wouldn't matter. But to say I'm not going to hire them if their car's messy, or that will factor in whether I hire them if their car's messy, I think it depends on the job and the situation. But we can't apply that across the board.
But
So,
yeah, I think
what do
that
you
was
think
more
about
so on in-office positions.
what do you think
Probably.
about
That's what I
weed
was thinking.
smoking then?
I'm sorry?
What do you think about weed smoking and a person's car smelling like weed? Personally, like I said, I don't want to know, don't tell me, right? But most insurance companies don't allow people to have employees that are, if they smoke on the job, insurance claims won't handle that.
If you're applying for a job that has that, then you already know that they drug test. So
Not all the time, because most companies have don't ask, don't tell policies. However, people still come to work and do what they do.
okay. But my point is, if they have a don't ask, don't tell, then it shouldn't matter if they smoke weed or not, especially if you don't drug test. So you're going to discriminate against them for something they do in their personal time?
But you can't come to work under the influence. Don't ask, don't tell, right?
Yeah.
But don't come to work under the influence. But if you smoking in the car, right? You go out on your break and you smoke in the car.
Yeah.
You can
And
still
that's what you
smell it.
fire or whatever. But again, I think if I'm the top employee at a office building, I'm the man. I'm the go-to for everything. And I go out and smoke weed, you think they're gonna fire me? They're like, hey man, you can't do that. We're gonna have to send you home. See,
I'm gonna have to agree with Skip on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this because y'all, I do IT. Most of the let me make sure I say this the right way. Most of the positions that I've worked for that do not drug test, for the pre-hire position, are banking. 90% of banking do not, and do for. I mean, it's not just based on the position; it's just the company doesn't. So you have to think these individuals are handling your money,
right?
And they are not drug testing.
They're not drug testing, no, for
At
sure.
all.
And that's many industries, not just banking. I mean,
And I'm just surprised that it was. I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm sure they're gonna, do this, and they do the background. Plenty of. Yeah.
So I'm
Anyway, great conversation. I didn't think y'all would really dive into that one. I had a second one.
Talk about it.
I had a second one, but we're gonna save this. We're gonna save the next one for next week. We're gonna talk about upcoming events this week. We had a second guest too, but I don't think they're going to make it.
No, he's not.
Carnage. In the energy and utility sector, I think they should drug test once a month.
Oh yeah.
Because you're working around something that could kill you or possibly kill somebody else if you do something wrong. That is a whole nother area, in my opinion, if that's what you're talking about. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Did you put up the one with the murals? Is that one in there?
I did. It's on the computer. So add it.
Oh,
please.
Crap.
Can you add it?
Yes. Okay.
When you open the door. Hey, but you have some people and some females like that. When you open the door, you be like, "Yeah, I'm about to ride with you," and then you open the door. Hold on, let me move all this stuff.
Yes, a lot.
Let me move all this stuff out so you can sit down in the front seat.
I don't like that sometimes now.
I yelled at somebody's kids because her kid. I said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, leaving all these crumbs in your mama car like a teenage child. Like you too big to have all these crumbs in the front seat." And I yelled at her, like, "Why you let him eat all in your car like this? This don't make no sense."
That's not child.
My kids have lost their privileges. They done lost it. I don't care when you get home, the food is cold. McDonald's fries, and we live in the country. Somebody will take us 15 minutes to get home. They'll be cold when you get They'll be cold when you get home because y'all lost your privileges.
You mean, mama?
Well,
No cold fries. I don't want no fries. They be cold when I can eat them.
Learn how to eat right. All you got to do, they leaning all in the chair like this, talking, eating and stuff like that, and do it. No, oh no.
Have you ever
no,
moved the car seat and it's just crumbs?
Man.
Yeah.
I found a bone in our car when I was detailing one.
Not a bone.
A chicken bone, or like a bone. And my daughter come, Daddy, no, see what happened now. And what she said happened was she had eaten some at the restaurant before we left, and the thing spilled over while we were in transport coming back home. And she thought she picked them all up. I was like, okay, that's not feasible. You got all the
I get yelled at about lotion. I just have a little lotion in the car. It's like, you got lotion in here. That's it.
Late breaking news: tattoos, booze, art, and shoes. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. On Valentine's Day, this is a great event to attend with the missus in the car community. Calling all cars. This is a special event. Miss TJ, take it away on this special event that's going down next Friday on Valentine's Day.
So, affirmations across America, and I'm sure you've seen many of these murals all over the city of Atlanta. You see a building, you see a mural on the side. Those were all done by Affirmations Across America and another agency called the A-Town Art Agency. They are hosting it's probably they do this event maybe 4 times a year: tattoos, booze, art, and shoes on February 14th, which is next Friday, at Monday Night Garage, the Monday Night Brewing, the Garage. It's a free event. It's absolutely free to the public, but we have a call to action. It's an art show. And as part of the art show, they are looking for motorcycles and slingshots to display at the event. So if you have a dope motorcycle or a dope slingshot and you want to be featured at this event, please contact me. You can hit me up at Atlanta Carcast on Instagram or at Tia Jakes on Instagram. Or if you have my phone number, call or text me and let me know that you want to be a part of this event. If you just want to go to the event, it's absolutely free, but you do have to RSVP. It's going to be a phenomenal event, art show with tattoos, with beer and art and kicks and vendors and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I am looking for slingshots and motorcycles to be a part of this event. So if you've taken a picture in front of one of these murals, this is the group that is responsible for having these murals all over the city. So
I thought I saw my battle. He got a slingshot. My battle buddy.
Well, yeah, let them know. Let them know. Soldier Girl will be there.
Oh, boom. Say no more.
She's going to be there. Lee from Street Visions is going to put his badass motorcycle in there. So we need a few more. So hit me up and let me know if you would like to participate. If you are going to participate, you do have to leave your motorcycle or slingshot inside, because these vehicles are going to be inside the building for the entire event. So it starts at 6. It ends at 12. All the vehicles have to be there by no later than 5 p.m. in order to be a part of the event. So, but you can hit me up on any of those platforms if you need some additional information. Yeah.
There you go. We're not going to go through a whole bunch of list of different events. That's the one that's kind of hot and heavy. More to come on more shows next week. Qwueen Kong, you gonna be in the streets this weekend?
What's this weekend? Oh wait.
We gonna get
I'm not. Oh no. I'm going to be at home, but I will be in you all's area April 5th.
Okay.
April 5th, Douglasville.
Okay.
Well, y'all know I'm down there all summer, but when I come down there, we all need to come have a dinner.
Absolutely.
Something like that. But, I'm definitely going to be down there. I love y'all shows, the energy, the everything. So
you got to tell us what shows we need to pull up on.
Yeah, for sure.
In South Carolina.
Wherever. If you saying we in Miami, we in Miami. You know, Nighthawk go to Miami like every other day.
I'm going to Fort Lauderdale for the Easter show. Talk to them because that's Navas with the don't.
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale, so Easter. I'm going back down there. They don't have a big. They don't have. I like going to shows. They don't have a big music scene and just showing them something different. We're going to Chicago for a fella Playboy Jeezy. He won one of the chains down there. We're going to Chicago. Because they have the vans with a lot of music. So going to Chicago.
Yeah, they do
shows around here. Huh?
The van scene is huge up there.
It is. So I like to go and see what they got and show them something, show them something different. So local shows, we have some in March. Dope Girls Nay show in June, the end of June. It's just a lot. I'm gonna have to send y'all a picture of the calendar that I just have to mark down everything just to see.
That's what I was saying, because the weekends you be out, you gotta let them know, because people, you gotta experience her build, her vehicle. A lot of her videos be going viral from the effects of what happens when you're in her vehicle. If you want to see the rest of us that are in the city, we will be here. Shout out to Secret Society. They're doing a Super Bowl party. If y'all don't know, the Super Bowl is this Sunday. You're living under a rock. The Super Bowl is going down with Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles. They're doing a watch party at All In Sports Bar and Lounge. We will be in the house. Shout out to Secret Society. They got foods. They have great food, good drinks. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Great venue, All In Sports on the south side, 2330 Mount Zion Parkway in Morrow, Georgia. If you haven't been to this venue, pretty good venue to go to for events like this. It's gonna be music, all that jazz, and we will be in the house. Can't wait to see. Everybody's thinking Kansas City is gonna win. I don't. I think
I was just about to ask who y'all going for.
I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes.
What do you think, Skip?
I want Philadelphia to win. I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes. I'm tired of. I mean, he's great, and he's probably going to end up being the best quarterback ever when he retires. But yeah, I've been hearing about it too much.
And I think the NFL is going to prove that it's not scripted and allow, which is being scripted, Philadelphia to win just to say that it's not scripted. So I think Philadelphia wins by maybe 10 points.
No, I don't think it's going to be that big of a margin.
10 points. You heard it here first.
What do you think, TJ?
Go Dallas.
What? You know what? You know what?
I'll take.
Hey, if you're in the sports and you watch us here on Atlanta CarCast on Thursday, check out the Fifth Quarter Sports Cast that airs on Mondays. They give you all of the sports news, all of the stuff that's going on with Luka. If you like all of that stuff, being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers and all of that. I'm not really into that, but Skip is the guru, and he's also on that podcast. But yeah, catch us here for Atlanta CarCast every Thursday, 8 p.m. We are back. We are consistent. The season is upon us. We are here. Weather's been great this week. Was it great in South Carolina?
It was lovely. Lovely.
Oh, my goodness. I was like, whoa, it went from like 30 to like 80 in like 12 hours. I was like, what the fuck?
I can go outside and yeah. Oh, yeah. It was nice.
Okay. So, Nighthawk, you going to be in these streets this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't sound enthused about that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be out.
You don't work so well.
He got operative missions he can't discuss. You know what I mean? Top secret.
Yeah.
Top secret missions. He probably gonna be, somewhere on the South Beach.
Yeah.
Watching the game.
Yeah.
We got one more late breaking situation here. Outrageous Cuts, aka Mr. Mook, Chi-Town representative, is still doing a giveaway. So if you can scan this,
what's going on, man? We got the big boy, 85 inch. I know y'all ain't got no 85 inch in the crib. So guess what? This the new raffle. You know what I'm saying? $20
right there.
a ticket. Don't play with heat. You know what I'm saying? The outrageous way. You know?
Don't play with heat.
So if you want to rewind your video right now and scan that barcode for his raffle, $20 to enter the raffle. He's giving away an 85-inch TV, courtesy of Outrageous Cuts on Snap Finger Road. They're also ready. We've been doing all month.
That was last month. We in a whole nother month now, mister.
Why did he send me that?
That's old. Pay attention.
Yeah, look at the dates.
Look at the date.
And tarted.
Okay, whatever.
Shaking my head. Shaking my head.
He gave away free haircuts, so shout out to him.
Y'all know me. I'll be making posts for y'all. You know, hey.
No, I don't want to get y'all excited. That's Skip beat right there.
That's his thing.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, what's going on? Like, all right, who's playing that?
Hey, right.
Anyway,
But
so yeah, we appreciate y'all watching us, joining us, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. Also follow us on Twitch. We're also streaming on Twitch right now. Also follow Qwueen Kong on YouTube. Also check out AtlantaCastNetwork.com for all of the different stuff that we have going on and links to all of the website. If you haven't been to Qwueen Kong's website, go to her website, get some merch. Go ahead, Skip.
One more thing about the car show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am, along with a couple other sponsors I got that just came on board today, going to do a free car show here in the next 30 days or so. I don't have an exact date yet, which is why I'm not going to put it out there, but there will be a top 25 or 30. There will be a best male, best female. There will be a largest club and a best rep club. The largest club is for the car club that has the most cars.
Can I bring my bike?
Of course you can. And there will be a most rep club, the most rep trophy. They probably will be the same size or within an inch or so of each other, but the most rep trophy will be given to the car club with the most clean car show ready cars. We know there's a lot of car clubs with, run of the mill cars or what they like to call stock cars. I'm not turning nobody away. It's a free car show. So all the trophies will be the same size. They won't be miniatures or anything like that. This is a way for me to get everybody together to mingle, talk, have fun, get back to what it was before when people came to just mingle and talk and see what's new and everything else. So a completely free car show. Next, have everything ironed out.
Shout out to everybody that's joining us. A lot of people in the chat today. Shout out to everybody that's watching this on the rewatch. We still here, Atlanta CarCast in the building. We're going to catch y'all next week. Deuce.